Very good morning to one and all present here. I am Sanket Moreskar and it's my pleasure to welcome you all on the special career guidance talk titled From Classroom to Courtroom, Crafting a Career in Law, organized by the Alumni Association of a college in collaboration with the Department of Law. Today's session is not just another event on academic calendar, but a unique opportunity for us to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and real-world application. As a student of commerce, many of you may be considering various career paths and legal field that offers fascinating and rewarding journey that combines analytical thinking, societal impact, and personal fulfillment. Law as a profession stands at the intersection of justice and society. It is a field that demands not just intellectual knowledge, but also a deep sense of responsibility and commitment to fairness. Whether you are drawn to corporate law, civil rights, criminal justice, or any other specialization, the legal profession offers countless avenues to make a difference. To guide with us on this path today, we have a distinguished individual who has successfully made a transition from being a student in these very classrooms to becoming a respected name in legal fraternity. Advocate Nilesh Takekar sir, an alumnus of our college, is here to share with us his insights and realities of crafting a successful career in law. His story is not only inspirational but also a practical roadmap for those of you aspiring to enter in legal profession. Let me take this opportunity to call upon my friend Arushi Puriye to introduce our resource person more formally.
A very good morning to one of you. It is my privilege to introduce our today's resource person. Advocate Nilesh Takekar sir has completed his BCom from Sridhara Kakula College of Commerce and Management Studies in 1999 and LLB from B.M. Sardokar College of Law, Miramar in 2002. He is presently practicing in Goa before the Honorable High Court of Bombay at Goa and other subordinate courts within the state, having his chamber in Benji with 7 junior advocates practicing under him. Sir has previously also performed in Honorable Supreme Court of India. He has been practicing for last 22 years in Goa and was previously associated with prestigious chamber of Learned Senior Counsel Shri Atmaram Nadkarni and Learned Senior Counsel of Shri Vijay Nadkarni. Sir is also associated with leading law firms in India such as Kaitan and Company, Veritas Legal and Cyril Merchant Mangaldas. Sir has also previously worked as additional government advocate before the Honorable High Court of Bombay at Benji and was on the drafting panel of Goa Infrastructure Act. He has also been on the panel of Goa Industrial Development Corporation for the last 5 years. In addition to this, Sir is also recognized arbitrator and alumnus of B.M. Sardokar College of Law, holding the post of treasurer in the committee. On the behalf of our college, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Arushi. We are indeed pleased to have you with us, sir. As a token of appreciation, I now invite our principal, Professor Santosh Patkar sir, to present a potted plant to Advocate Nilesh Takekar sir, symbolizing our gratitude and respect. I request Sneha to present a rose to our principal, Professor Santosh Patkar sir. To our Vice Principal, Associate Professor, Ms. Smriti Bodkar ma'am. Thank you. And now, without further ado, I invite Advocate Nilesh Takekar sir to share his thoughts and experiences with us. Please join me in welcoming him with a round of applause.
listening to this particular speech. Thank you for welcoming me, respected principal and the faculty of this particular college. It is an honor to be here and be invited to deliver a short speech on my experience, which I started from this college. I wouldn't say I started from this college. Previously also I had been a student of another college, but I was honored to be admitted in my second year of BCom in this particular college. And my journey, which was a turning point from this college, is right up to what I have been today. So I wouldn't burden you with all my previous past and experiences, but rather let me concentrate on what I am here today for. Now, looking at you all sitting over here, it only reminds me that this is what my mirror is. Because in the past, when I was a student just like you all, I used to be somewhere over here, being very naughty. But it appears that you all are very studious and very serious, which I was not at that particular point of time. But nonetheless, today you are at a stage where you all are going to transform yourself into some individuals who will be very responsible in the society as well as in the institution or the organization where you all will be serving. So let me only be a guide to tell you as to how to carry forward this journey from where today you all are. So firstly, let me give you some kind of advice as to how you should be starting your legal career, not legal career but any career. Now, not that everybody would want to go for a law or want to opt for a law, but let me tell you that this is a subject which is of vast importance, because those who understand our democratic setup would come to know that the judiciary is the third pillar of our country. And if you see the witness, if you witness what is happening in the past for so many years, be it the NEET exam, be it the bond case, or any other matter, whether it is the bail of Kejriwal or any other important issues. So you will understand the immense importance of law, which we need to cherish and which we need to understand. So firstly, what I would suggest to you all is that since today you all are at this particular stage, you should first concentrate on your academia. Try to be focused on what you are learning. Now, from my past experience, I can tell you that standing here and telling you be focused on this, be focused on that is very easy. Each one of you over here are having their own issues, having their own problems and having their own challenges in life. But let me also tell you that you all are very blessed. You all have good friends, you all have good family, and above all, you are in a good institution. This institution is something which is going to shape your career, which is going to shape your life. So, be true to this institution. Dedicate your hard work for the purpose of learning the academics, because this is where your base, you are going to build your base. So first and foremost, my first advice is be focused on this particular academia, what you are today learning. Any subject you learn, any topic you learn, will tomorrow be very useful to you. Now when I was in my second year, I had the opportunity of listening to a lawyer who used to take part-time courses, who used to highlight about the importance of Consumer Protection Act and the company law. It is at that point of time I started developing a liking towards this particular subject, and as I dwelled more into this subject, I started liking it more. So, if you take this subject of law, although it is a three-letter word, but mark me, it has got such big importance. It is such a vast subject. It is such a broad subject that even after 22 years being in practice and 3 years of my academia, still I would say I have been able to learn nothing more than 10%. So this is the vastness of this particular subject. It is an ocean. So what you need to understand is that if you are opting for this subject, the only and only requirement from you is not your intelligence, not your smartness, that is all secondary according to me, but it is your hard work. So if you have that ability to work hard, then this is a profession or this is a subject which one needs to dwell. This is a subject which is very dynamic. The subject has never been static, and when I say it is dynamic in the sense, like if you understand chemistry, if you must have studied in your 10th, when you put two chemicals, you will understand what the reaction is. So the end result is certain. But when it comes to law, it's not like that. This is a very dynamic subject. Laws keep on changing. Interpretation of words, interpretation of phrases, and decisions of courts keep on changing. So that is the stage where the challenges come, and this is the stage where your hard work comes in. So, as I have advised you, first have a focus, and if you have that focus, and if you have zeroed down on a particular path of your career, then understand what you need to do next. Now, for example, when I say focus, you need to be goal oriented. Today, I think this is a mix of all second year, first year and TY. But those who are in the TY or in the third year, you need to have a goal in your life, because you are going to step out of that umbrella, that protective umbrella which you all have been throughout your academic career. You need to step out and see where I will be in the next 3 years or 5 years, and that is the way your seriousness has to start. So first, have a focus. Second, have a goal in life, and if you have decided to have a particular goal in life, then you need to do the other steps. So it should not be, one should not be a headless chicken, as they say. So now let me tell you how you can opt law as a career once you decide to come out of BCom and opt for this particular subject. Now many of you, since you all are a commerce batch, the first option which you all may have is obviously, some may say I want to be a chartered accountant, some may say I want to be a company secretary, some may say I will want to take up a job as an accountant. All that is fine. But I will tell you, even when you do this, this subject of law is still going to help you. So you take any walk of your life, law is a subject which is going to help you throughout. So you can, as an additional acquirement of knowledge, can also opt for law. There are some institutions who admit part-time law doers, but that is separately. My advice to you is that if you are after BCom, if you are opting for law, take up this program, this this degree program very seriously, and I will tell you what are the options available now. Now, after BCom, once you decide that you will start doing your LLB, okay, the Bachelor in Law program. So for that, also before that, you need to prepare your minds on certain things. Like some of you may be having a very good command over your language, so you may decide to practice. Some of you may have an exceptional intelligence, a good photo flash memory, a good recall memory, so you all can take up some service-oriented jobs. I will explain that, how to go about with that. So decide accordingly whether you want to go for a service-oriented program or you want to take up a profession in law. So if you decide this according to your capabilities and according to your understanding, then accordingly start working on it. Because it shouldn't be that you are taking up law as a part-time activity. Knowledge is never a part-time activity. I have never done it as a part-time activity. I have done it as a full-time course. And I have attended all my lectures. Of course, previously we used to bunk. But when it comes to law, there is no bunking. There is no missing something. It has to be full-time. You have to attend each and every lecture because that's the journey of learning. That's the journey of acquiring law. And if you do that, take it from me, it is going to pay in the long run. Now coming to the options which are available in law. Broadly, if I say, I can divide it into two. This is post your completion of law. Even when you are doing your law, there are various subjects which are involved. There are more than 1,000 laws, so they don't teach you each and every law. Understand that. Certain basic laws will be taught to you in a courtroom, in a classroom like this. Rest all other laws are to be learned by yourself. So when I did my LLB program in B.M. Sardankar's College of Law, Miramar, certain basic subjects are taught to you, and these are the subjects which you should decide of your liking. But you don't have a choice, you have to learn all. But future you can decide. The most important subjects which are taught in a LLB degree program are firstly the Constitutional Law of India, which is again a very big subject, very vast subject, but take it from me, it's a very interesting subject. Constitution is a basic document which is one of the foundational document of our democratic setup. So you should learn the history and the law relating to that. All laws flow from this particular constitution, or they have to be in sync with this constitution. So this is what is taught to you. Second, laws like Civil Procedure Code, Criminal Procedure Code, Law of Contract, Law of Evidence, then the Indian Penal Code, which is now of course replaced by the BNS, that is called the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So Bharatiya Nyaya Suraksha Samhita, it is called BNSS. And the Criminal Procedure Code, which we earlier had, which is now BNS, that is Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So these are some basic subjects which are taught in the LLB program. Now, as a commerce student, since your focus is more on commercial side, I will tell you all which are the laws which you all need to focus or which you can take it up as your further career. Law of contract is something which is very important because today all commercial contracts, you should understand what are the basic principles for the formation of contract. What is an offer? What is an agreement? What is a contract? What are void agreements? What are agreements which can be done? So all this is taught in a law of contract. Now another emerging field is the law of arbitrations. Now, as a commerce student, you can also focus on these subjects like the law of arbitration. And if you decide to go outside the state and practice, then this is a very vibrant subject which is vastly used like in the metropolitan cities like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta and all sorts. Third law is your Companies Act. Now kindly see how the transition happened. We had the earlier 1956 Act which later on got amended somewhere in 2010 and then ultimately we have the 2013 the Companies Act, which has got a vast, it is again a very vast subject. Today, most of the corporates, they have to follow these laws. There is no leeway, there is no excuse. You have to have certain compliances. So again, when you learn these subjects, you can make up a very good career in a company law. Those who are intending to do company secretary, you will get certain exemptions for certain laws, which is again going to help you. And most of the company, for the purpose of company secretary, the major portion is your company law. You need to know how the returns of the companies are to be filed, when the AGM has to be conducted, how meetings are to be conducted, how resolutions are to be passed, what is the role of a director, what is the liability of directors, all this is there in the company law. So I am giving you very briefly, I don't want to lecture you on company law. I am just giving you the avenues which are available to you. Then we have something called insurance laws. Again a very vast subject. Mediclaim, commercial insurances, personal insurances, accidental insurances, all these are subjects which you will learn under the insurance law. Now, since I am more focusing on commercial laws because you being commerce student, obviously I feel that you may have some economic interest as far as the commercials are concerned. So these are the options which are available to you. But this is not limited again, and let me tell you, when I completed my BCom, my subject was cost accounting and financial accounting. But eventually I ended up studying most of the laws which were relevant. And today I practice almost in all the fields. So it is up to you how you want to structure your program. Now if you don't have an inclination towards practice and if you still feel that I will do something as a career by getting into some services, there again I am telling you, law is a subject which will help you in many ways. First I will tell you what are the avenues which are available to you. Those who decide on answering competitive exams like the UPSC, this subject is going to help you a lot. When I say subject, I mean law. I mean LLB degree program. So I assume that after BCom, if those of you who have a vision that I should enter into some government service or I take up some competitive exams, then this is a program which will help you in many ways. Because most of the questions, most of the syllabus is picked up from these fields, from law. So you have the option of UPSC, even if you want to answer IAS, if you are competitive enough, please go ahead. You have state level examinations like the Goa Public Service Commissions, who advertises posts for sub-registrars. Again, these are highly paid jobs. You can make a career out of this. You have to only dedicate seriousness and hard work when you take up this LLB degree program. The post of sub-registrar today is considered as a very important post because in a place like Bardes, imagine around 40 deeds happening per day. Imagine 40 deeds happening per day, and this is an area where the state generates the maximum revenue. So I am trying to bring out the potential and the importance of that particular field, and you can be a part of that field if you take up this subject seriously. So we have the post of sub-registrar. May not be sub-registrar because I understand maybe in a 5 years, 3 years, one post will be advertised. But again, you have got various avenues. We have the post of Mamlatdar. Again, a very important post. A Mamlatdar is considered as an executive magistrate of that particular place. He has got wide powers. Civil, he has got powers under civil law, he has got powers under the criminal law. Wide powers, he enjoys great privileges. So you can take up this as a career by answering those competitive exams. And you can answer those competitive exams only when you seriously understand this particular subject of law. So we have sub-registrar, we have Mamlatdar, we have the deputy collector, we have our Courtroom. So these are the avenues which are available as far as your service is concerned. Now coming to the professional side, after completing your LLB degree program, once the Bar Council confers a sanad in your favor, you have a right to practice anywhere in the country. You can practice in Goa, you can practice anywhere. Now this again, you can take it up as a profession. Only thing I must tell you that the gestation period for advocate or a lawyer is slightly high. So don't expect that immediately after passing out law, I will start arguing matters and I will earn 20,000, 30,000 a month. No. You will have to remove this out of your mind. You have to understand that for anything in life, you need to mature and you have to come up to that particular stage. You need to raise that stage, and it happens very gradually. It will not happen overnight. If you expect after LLB I will get 10-15,000, no, please remove it out of your mind. First, consider yourself that I will practice and this is going to be my last and final choice. Nowadays I have seen, and even at my stage I have seen, that students take up LLB degree program and they end up starting career somewhere else. I have seen that many times. So this should not be your approach. Rather, don't do it. And if somebody is forcing you to do LLB or forcing you to do some other thing, please don't get into that. Understand what is your requirement, understand what you can do, what are your capabilities, and then venture into this. Because if some deserving student who may otherwise get an admission over there, he will be deprived. So coming back to the focus again on LLB program and practice. This is something which is very sacred, which is very challenging, where you will have to dedicate yourself, you will have to give utmost time. Again, practice cannot be secondary. You cannot say that I will do part-time service and I will do part-time practice. No, cannot be like that. You have to dedicate your entire strength to practice. And when you do that, take it from me, when you do that, you will find yourself in a place which will be better off. Again, when it comes to practice, there are again several fields. There is civil, there is criminal, there is commercial field. So make a choice. Understand which laws you are comfortable with. What is your caliber? how far you can take it, what is your understanding about law, and don't practice only because with a mindset that I will earn this much. No, please don't do it, because practice is not just about remuneration and money and about fees. That will eventually come. Please keep it secondary. Practice is something which should be your passion. It should be wholehearted. And what is required of a practice is, which today you all may be lacking, is discipline. So the discipline in life, discipline in practice is of a higher standard. So when you go to the course, you cannot be sitting the way you are sitting today. You have to be more attentive, you have to be more alert, your posture, your personality, what you speak, all matters. So today, maybe you all are wrong, but eventually, when you decide to practice, please keep these things what I have told you. Because once you take up the profession of being an advocate, then your standards have to be of a higher degree. It cannot be of a lower degree. Because your existence will be completely wiped out. And I am not scaring you, I am only advising you. It is not at all difficult to become a good lawyer. And also understand, becoming a good lawyer or becoming a good counsel is not counted on the kind of wealth what he has, or how many cars he has had, or what kind of shoes and blazer he wears. No. This is sheer intelligence and skill. So I know of many lawyers who do not have any flashy clothes, who do not wear any high-end accessories and all those things, but are considered very good lawyers because they are lawyers with skill. They are lawyers with discipline. So this is what is expected of you. And it is not that you all don't have it in you. Each one of you over here has that potential to be either a good lawyer, or maybe somebody who is doing or practicing law, or who is acquiring that wealth of law. Each one of you has that potential. Third thing, never look down upon yourself. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. Please don't do it. Whatever subject of law is no doubt a bit difficult, because there are no certain answers. Like till today, when clients come to me and they ask me, first thing what they ask is, "Sir, hame case jitne na?" I don't know what to tell them. I don't have an answer. I cannot guarantee anybody that this will be the final result of this particular case, because case develops over a period of time. Case develops on the basis of what input you. So it is very uncertain. So this is where the challenge in this profession lies. And if you are able to take that challenge, then please proceed. Please go ahead. If you have that sheer hard work, that discipline, that dedication, there is nobody who can stop you in this particular profession. Now, coming to the aspect of whether and why you should practice, or is it that I don't need to practice after LLB? Choice again is yours. If you think you can practice, please go ahead. Join a good chamber of some senior lawyer practice, observe it, take great interest, take initiative, go ahead. If you think that no, practice is not my cup of tea and I need to do something different, then as I told you, there are various other options which are available. Law gives you many avenues. Today, a person who has done his LLB can also join corporate offices as a licensing officer. That orthodox thinking that after LLB I only need to practice has been gone. It's wiped off. You can take up a job in any corporate office, especially corporates who are into real estate, because there is another emerging law which is very important, and I don't know whether you are aware of this. This is the Real Estate Regulatory Act. This act came in recently, but it has got such vital importance. So after LLB, you can join any corporate office. You can be a licensing officer for the purpose of taking RERA registrations, drafting agreements which are as per the format of RERA, executing sale deeds with the registrar, because today in Goa, at least, I don't know about other states, in Goa there is no compulsion for the purpose of registering a sale deed only through an advocate. So you see, there are so many avenues which are available to you. You only need to see which one suits you. And obviously when you roll out from this prestigious institution, the first thing what will come to your mind is, now what next? How do I build my career so that I can sustain myself financially? This is what naturally, and every one of you will have that feeling, irrespective of your financial background, what your parents have. But each one of you today, I see, would want to stand on his own legs and be somebody in life, sustain yourself with great pride and self-respect. So for that purpose, please consider these options. Please consider doing LLB. These are the options which are available to you. Please seriously consider whether I need to practice or whether I need to get in service. And again, let me also tell you, sometimes it becomes difficult after having a degree to again pursue another graduation. It becomes difficult. For some it becomes very difficult, because there are a lot of constraints, there is a lot of pressure. Understand that. But still, if you can make out time at this juncture itself of your life, please make out that time and go for this additional degree program. Because the world outside is very competitive. Please take it from me. Just having a commerce degree or having some degree is not going to help you. Understand, today, whatever this number is, 70, 60, 80, whatever it is, similar number is there in some other institute. Similar number will be there in some other institute of this particular state. So the competition is very high. That is what I want to tell you. So the competition being so high, your seriousness and your dedication towards your career also has to be high. You cannot take things for granted. And most important is the time factor. Sometimes we run out of time. We are aging. At that particular age, we want to do certain things. That sometimes that laziness also creeps in. Like, you will say, yes, I have already done one program, why again? Let's go and take up a job and do it. No. Please, don't stop at this. Go for that extra mile, go for that extra career, go for that extra effort. In the long run, it is going to pay. Because I have seen my friends, after doing their BCom, after 10 years of their BCom, They now feel that yes, I should have done some extra, I should have done my masters, I should have studied more. But that time, that situation does not permit. Today you have that time with you, today you have that energy with you, please do it. And I would advocate for a LLB degree program, considering the wide avenues which this subject has to offer to you. So I have broadly given you what you can do, how you can shape your career, why you should do an LLB, what are the benefits of doing an LLB, whether you can practice, whether you can do service, or whether you can do part-time service or some other avenue. I have explained all this to you. I don't want to burden you with my further speech. I think I have broadly covered most of the aspects. If any one of you feel that I need to dwell more upon any subject, please let me know. I am free to answer your questions. Okay? Does anybody have any questions or any doubts which I need to clarify? Please let me know.
If you have any questions, please ask.
For practicing in the Supreme Court, you need to have the permission, something like that.
So, I'll tell you, when it comes to Supreme Court, in Supreme Court, the things are completely different. I can practice, I have appeared in the Supreme Court, so there is absolutely no problem to practice. The only requirement is, when you are practicing in the Supreme Court, you need to file a vakalatnama through an advocate on record. An advocate on record is a person who has given an examination which is held by the Supreme Court, by one of their wing in the Supreme Court. And the advocate on record needs to have his office within 100 meters of the periphery of the Honorable Supreme Court. So there is absolutely no bar. Once you have an LLB degree, you can directly go and practice in the Supreme Court. But the only requirement is you have to appear through an advocate on record of the Honorable Supreme Court. As far as the Honorable High Courts are concerned, there is no such bar. It is only before the Honorable Supreme Court. It's because there are matters which are filed from all over India. So when you are filing pleadings or when you are serving pleadings, it has to be in a particular format, and the opposite side needs to be served with those pleadings. So for that reason, a person who is appearing in the Honorable Supreme Court has to appear through the advocate on record. Okay, any other questions? Anybody wants to know anything else? Yes, please.
Especially the Supreme Court lawyers like Kapil Sibal, Harish Halve, I heard that they are charging the fees in lakhs of rupees, 25 lakh, crore something there. This is a fact of future.
Yes. Now I'll tell you, the thing is, when it comes to matters of law and when it comes to matters which are pending before the Honorable Supreme Court, the stakes are very, very high. Like for example, I tell you now the recent judgment, I don't know whether you all are aware, and I feel that you all should also be aware of these recent things which are going on. The recent judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court with regards to the royalty on minerals, whether the state has got the power to charge royalty on the minerals which are extracted. So just imagine the state and these lawyers, like the names which you have taken, Mr. Sibal, Mr. Harish Salve, then K.K. Venugopal, Nariman, these are big names, and I am too small before them, but these are eminent lawyers who have given lot of dedication, who have given immense study, hard work to this particular profession. The reading of the subject, the way I read it and what they read it, it's immensely different. It's very vast. The capability of thinking of those individuals and capability of what we think is immensely great. So this kind of a caliber, Supreme Court is going to hear only these people respecting the kind of knowledge and caliber which they have. If I stand before the Honorable Supreme Court, they may not hear me for more than 2-3 minutes. But when these individuals stand, the way they put up the matter is completely different. So it is the kind of level which they are, and I feel there is nothing wrong when they charge that much of fees, because you have to understand the life of a lawyer, especially the life of a lawyer who is before the Honorable Supreme Court, is not as easy as other lawyers are. These are people who burn the midnight oil, who study the matter, read each and every paper, read the brief very thoroughly, and it is for this they charge that. A lawyer's family life is absolutely zero. Lawyer, a dedicated lawyer, even on Sundays or even on holidays, would like to come to his chamber and study his brief and prepare for himself for the next day. So these are those kind of lawyers, and definitely the clients feel that they can do justice to their brief. That is the reason why they charge. So I am sure one of you tomorrow who reaches to the Honorable Supreme Court can be very successful like what they are. I am not saying the way they charge, but definitely you all can be successful. And I am telling you, don't look down upon yourself. Please, don't feel that you are too small for these things. Nobody is too small. We never know, tomorrow one of you, after taking an LLB program, may be even much better than what I am doing. Okay? It's only and only what you decide. So if you decide that I will be the best lawyer, or I will be the best counsel, or I will be the best individual with good academics, you can do it. You need to only give that hard work. So take it from me, if you can give that hard work, this has something more to offer than what you actually desire. Yes. Anything else? Yes, please.
Completing the 5 years of program, if I want to become a company specific lawyer, so is there any other program or I can directly apply for that?
Yeah. So I'll just tell you, in LLB programs, we have, after your graduation, you have the 3 years. Okay? And post your higher secondary school certificate examination, we have the honors batch, which is of 5 years. Okay. So what you would be doing is the 3-year program. So once you complete your 3 years program, and if you want to excel specifically in commercial laws, then I would advise you, there is a degree program in the National Law School at Bangalore, which I was also pursuing. It is called MBA, Masters in Business Law. Okay, so if you go to the National Law School in Bangalore, there is a degree program called Masters in Business Law. Okay, so Masters in Business Law specializes only in commercial laws. So you have the company law, you have the banking laws, you have the insurance, you have the arbitration, then now I think even the new insolvency and bankruptcy code, that is also included in their syllabus. So you can opt for this. Even if you are not able to do it, I'm just telling you, this is a very high-end specialized program. Unfortunately, I could not complete it because it's more challenging. The kind of research and the kind of project submissions are there, they are on a different level. So I could not complete it. But I am not scaring you again. Please do it. It's very nice. It's a 2-year program. Even if you are not able to do that, don't worry. Nothing stops you from opting or practicing on the corporate field. If you go anywhere outside Goa, like Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, There are certain law firms with whom even I am associated. Like if you take Khaitan and Company, if you take Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, then ABZ, again a very big firm. If you can make it to these firms, then you will be exposed to all these corporate laws, because day in and day out they only practice in these fields. And I tell you another emerging field, and some of you may consider it very seriously. Consider opting for subjects like under the IPR, intellectual property rights, trademarks, copyrights, patents, registration of trademarks. This is another emerging field. And being commerce student, I feel that you all can also excel in this IPR. So please consider even this. Yes, anybody? Anything else? So my friend is asking me, I practiced for around 22 years, and whether I had any plans for being going for a judge. A good question, but I tell you, I don't have that in me to become a judge. I'll tell you the reason why. I like to be more on the field. So that stops me from being a judge. And judge, I'm telling you, being a judge is a very prestigious post. It requires a very high responsibility. It requires strong principles to become a judge. Because the first quality of being a judge is not to be prejudiced. And when I say not to be prejudiced means I should not prejudge any matter. So this is a very big quality a judge should carry. Because the moment I have a prejudice, like for example, if I have a liking towards this person and I don't have a liking to that person, I am unfit to be a judge. Because I have to hear both the sides and decide it as per law. So these are some strong principles which are required. But I did not opt to be a judge because my passion has been to practice. I like to argue matters. I like to do research. I like to go to different courts, and that I cannot do when I am a judge. So that prevented me, or rather I did not opt for judge, because I was very clear when I started my LLB that I will practice. Yes. Anybody, anything else? Do you have something? Okay. Thank you for being very patient. I am truly honored. You all have tolerated me for so long, and thank you once again. It's been an honor. I thank the principal. I thank Madam Rudwa also. So I'll conclude my speech. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
This is the first time we have invited our alumni in the law profession. I don't remember during when Nilesh was studying here that we had organized like this talks on the career guidance, career cells, etc. Nothing. That time we do not have that much also the specialized cells, etc. to provide information to the students. And Nilesh has done his on his own, selecting the law profession. I remember when we were pass out from the high secondary or maybe in the school, 10th standard year. That time there was a trend in the society like the distinction student will opt for the science, then the first class student will opt for the commerce, and then the last one after that it will be the arts stream. Again after that also the science profession, those science stream, those who are opted, they will definitely be thinking for the doctors, engineers, etc. There was a passion like that. Commerce definitely were thinking that people were thinking the bankers working in the bank, and the arts people, arts those who are in the arts stream or teacher or a lawyer. But that is not a trend now it is. Now even the science graduates, commerce graduates are successful lawyers in the society. So nothing that regarding when you are the commerce students, BCom students, you will get a job in the banks or you will get only the jobs in the private firms, a company, corporate, etc. You can think also becoming a lawyer, thinking of the other professions also. But the law profession which also I liked, even I have the LLB degree to my credit. I also wanted to practice, but then as Nilesh has just rightly said, in the initial stage, where you should not focus on your remuneration, how much you'll be earning. So when I wanted to start a practice and my cousin is a lawyer, so I asked him regarding he told me that whatever I was drawing the salary at that particular moment, in order to get this much amount, you have to stop another 10 years in the law profession. So I gave up the idea of that, starting the full-time practice and continued as in the teaching, and I succeeded in becoming the principal of the college. That's the second thing. But still, Nilesh, I feel many times that yes, I should have been also in the legal field, and maybe also after retirement also I mean. Is there any age this limit for them for getting the sanad? No, maybe. Really, Nilesh has in detail has given the information about the law professions, and he has already said regarding you should be focused, you should be having the goal. As he said that he wanted to do the practice as a goal. And I said several times in the several classes when I go to students, yes, when you join in the commerce stream, commerce college, etc., you should have something to go in. What I will do, that is very important. So where I will be after 10 years, where I will be after 5 years, somewhere, sometime you have to think. You should not be like casual. College life is you have to enjoy. Nilesh also enjoy the college life. I know the that. But college life also you have to enjoy. But at the same time, you should be also serious in your careers. It's very important. And second thing, very important, like Nilesh or maybe the earlier batches, etc. They were the first generation learners, etc. Many students are now the second generation, third generation learners. Now you have, at least you have got a financial backing, you have got a parent support, parent fund. That yes, whatever you want, you do it. Like how my son is doing the CA. I say that don't worry, concentrate on CA. As much as number of years you will see that complete the CA. That support, like you also having the parent support at home. But thing is very important, dedicated yourself. See, be serious in you are choosing the careers. As Nilesh said, the law profession is very lucrative. The law, I know regarding how much they fee charge. And very important, second thing which I always feel, the lawyers, you have to take the appointment. Without appointment, you cannot meet the lawyer. I just now last week I went to one lawyer. I saw the notice was put up outside. He charges the fees for the advice for 1 hour and 1,500 rupees just for the advice. And many lawyers are doing it for charging especially the names the topmost lawyers, just to interact them, taking the advice, they charge the fees, not they give the free advice. And second thing is where they got the honor, that proud and that moment, like someone is waiting outside for you. It is when you are doing a job, when you are doing a service, whatever it may be, you have to wait to meet the outside, to meet the person who is sitting in the cabin. Here the pride moment is where someone is waiting for you outside, taking the appointments, and getting sometimes appointments of the lawyers are very difficult. So we think of regarding good profession is there, law profession. Out of this 70-80 students in the now, even if suppose 5 students of that, I will say the Nilesh talk is the successful. 5 students, not the more. I never expect the expectation keep extending in the large. No. So Nilesh, really you have done good justice for your putting it to the law professions, and very important is it is a history that you are showcased regarding how you were among the one who were sitting here and you turned out to be a successful lawyer in Goa. And I wish you all the best in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful and enriching session. I am sure we all have learned a lot today. To conclude this workshop, I would like to invite Arushi to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable guest, respected principal sir, esteemed faculty members and my fellow students. A very good afternoon to all of you. I feel privileged to deliver this vote of thanks after this enlightening and inspiring session. I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Advocate Nilesh Takekar sir for graciously accepting our invitation and sharing his valuable insights with us. Your expertise and passion have truly left a lasting impact on all of us present here today. Special thanks are due to Principal Sir and Vice Principal Ma'am for their constant encouragement and support in organizing such informative events that enrich our academic year. I would also like to thank Ms. Ruta Kenkre, Ma'am, the coordinator of today's program. Also, big thank you to all the participants for their enthusiastic participation. In conclusion, we are extremely grateful to Nilesh sir for sharing his knowledge with us today. Your words are undoubtedly guiding us through our academic and professional journeys. Thank you once again, and we look forward to welcome you again in our campus, sir. Thank you.
All of you make sure you sign the attendance sheet before leaving.